What's going on, Jello family? Welcome to the Angelo Carlos podcast. I'm with Zoe here. She is an intern at Rocket Mortgage on the data analytics team. Also, she's a master's student at UC San Diego. Zoe and I met when we were actually at church. Super cool person, just got along super well, and she's just doing big things out at Rocket Mortgage. So she wanted to come on the pod, share her journey in what it took to get there and to UC San Diego. So Zoe, what's going on? How are you?
Hi guys, so nice to see you and thank you, Angelo. My name is Zoe Zhou and I came from UC San Diego. So I went there for my master's student degree in the business school. And me and Angela met during a Sunday service in the school. And he's a super chill person and we really vibe with each other. And then I didn't expect that we will connect from the podcast one day. And currently I'm doing my data analytics internship at Rocket Mortgage, which is also the largest mortgage company in the US. And right now I'm based on downtown Detroit. So unlike a lot of crazy things I've heard back in California, actually Detroit is pretty nice. It has a really beautiful downtown area. And then the team I'm working with, we deal with a lot of consumers data and marketing data, stuff like that. And then it's pretty cool that our job are a combination of data science, data analytics, and marketing. So it's been really fun and everything has been so nice. And definitely I would never imagine myself to embark on this journey before I came here for school last year.
Yeah, Zoe, well, that's so awesome. I'm so super happy for you. Congrats on getting your master's at UC San Diego. I know you said you have 1 quarter left, so you're almost there. We got to celebrate once you graduate. Very proud of you.
Yeah.
And it's cool. You actually got an internship. A lot of people are having so much trouble getting internships. I know at UCLA, a lot of classmates at Anderson, or just kind of on the finance side of things, they're having trouble getting jobs and internships, but you were able to land one. So I'm super proud of you. Congratulations. Why don't we kind of jump in on your time at UC San Diego? So what's your major at UCSD for your master's? And then how did you get in there and what are the classes like?
Okay, so my master degree is business analytics, and this program belongs to Rady School of Management. So it's a really typical big school vibe. And a lot of the class I took in school are related to data science, and some of the elective class you can take are from the MBA cohort, and also you can take something like besides the Rady School, like you can go choose data science class, stuff like that. And for me, the class I choose is a combination of data science and business. So I was really interested in healthcare, and I took some healthcare class from MBA. And talking about the story of me getting into this school is actually pretty fun. So I'm not born here. I came from China and I grew up in there. I came here only has been for a year. And before that in college, my major was in marketing. And at the time, a lot of things I was doing was really has nothing to do with data science. But it was pretty fun at the time studying marketing. We also did a lot of things related to processing data to trying to understand consumer. And that's how I find my interest in doing stuff related to data. And then I think I started to feel that I should apply for business school in the US when I was in second year of college. So at the time, I was doing internship with Walgreens. They were having a headquarters in China. And then my leader was keeping encouraging me that, oh, you should go to see a bigger world, to pursue your dream instead of just trying to get an average job, stuff like that. And then I feel we don't have Walgreens pharmacies in China, but then I was working with them. I get to know a bit more about the US because before coming here for school, I have never actually been to the US. And then I get to know these countries through the internship, and I was doing a lot of market research at the time. And then I started to prepare for applying for a business school. So I think Angela must be familiar with the process that you have to probably get a GMAT score.
Yeah, GMAT.
To apply for school, yeah. And GMAT is so hard, actually. I spent the whole summer just to prepare for the GMAT score to get a really high score, yeah. Because in China, I feel we don't use English that often. And then you have to quickly read all these passages and finish all these tasks within the given time. And then if you don't finish in time, there will be penalty for your scores for GMAT. And then as international students, we also need to get a TOEFL score. So TOEFL is like a standard English test for getting into school in the US. So I also did the TOEFL test. And then once you have the 2 scores for language, you can start to apply for school with your GPA and then your experience in China, and then write a personal statement. And at that time, I applied to maybe about 10 schools. So I didn't apply to a lot of schools because I know like a lot of people will spend a lot of money to apply for different schools, like buying lottery things. But for me, I just want to like prepare all the school that I want to go to carefully. And then
Which schools were they?
What?
Oh, which schools were they, Zoe?
Oh my gosh, I was about to tell you, like, most of the
Go
schools
ahead.
I applied are actually in California. So I applied to UC Irvine, UC San Diego, University of Southern California, and UC Davis, I forgot, probably I applied for them. And then some other schools are like in the East Coast. And also I applied to Vanderbilt. I really want to go.
Vandy.
Yeah, I really
got
want to
into
go
Vandy,
there
actually.
for marketing, but then they reject me because I feel that maybe my experience was not too international or something like anyway, just didn't get the marketing degree. So I also feel sad. I was so into marketing at the time. Yeah.
No
I
way.
also applied for Northwestern.
Great.
So
Kellogg, right? Kellogg.
yeah. So actually, I think I only got rejected by Northwestern and Vandy.
Wow.
And then for all the other school I applied, I got scholarship from all these different schools. So
That's awesome.
So it was like really out of my expectation. And then so I got like offer from marketing and also from business analytics. And then I started to hesitate for, which direction should I go? Because it's really 2 different things. If you go for marketing, a lot of things you will be doing is really creative. You will probably write a lot of like content for social media or for advertisement and to do a lot of like communication. But for business analytics, all things are related to data science. So you will do all of heavy coding stuff. And that's why, when I got all this offer, I started to consider like, okay, what is the direction that I really want to go and how will my life look like in the next 5 years. So that's also one of the reasons I choose UC San Diego, because they have a really good reputation in any field related to computers, IT stuff, like really geek vibe. So I think it's the perfect school for me to study this major. Yeah, and that's why I'm here. And also I feel like when applying for school, especially the school in the US, they really value a lot about your personal statement. They will want to not only see your scores for this standard test, but also to see you as a person with different story and your passion, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool, Zoe. Can you tell us about that personal statement? What did you write about? And then are you comfortable sharing what you kind of got on the TOEFL as well as on the GMAT? Because you got into all these great schools and then you also got a scholarship on top of it. That's not easy. So why don't you share that if you're comfortable?
Yes. So first of all, let's talk about the personal statements. So I think like for every school, you will have to prepare a different personal statement. And it's mostly, I think, composed of 3 parts. So the first part, you need to elaborate on who you are. And then the second question is why you choose this school. And third thing is probably like more related to your passion or your career choice for business school. So it's a really big thing that where do you want your career goes to. So for the first question about who you are, I think just to be real, because everyone's story is a little bit different. So I know that a lot of students, they probably will hire someone to write the personal statement for them, or just like go read other people's personal statement and then copy or something. But then the school will actually realize that they will feel that your narrative just didn't match with your CV or something. So for me, my personal story is quite really my own story, a bit unique, that I was doing internship with Walgreens, so I grow an interest in healthcare. And then also when I was in China, I was actually like doing a lot of things outside school. So I had internship experience for 2 years. And then also at the time, I was working with a CEO to build an NGO in the capital of China, Beijing. So we were helping a lot of like non-Chinese in China that they can have a better environment for them to study in school or start their own business. So it was something that really unique about my experience at the time. And I wrote that into my personal statement that I was helping, China to become a more inclusive place. So I think this is something that really highlights myself from others during my personal statement. And then come to the second question about why choosing this school. So some school will really value that they want you to, be a good match for them as well, not only to, I choose you, but also that you choose us. It's like something mutual. And then what I did was that I will go read all the websites of these different schools and read the history of them. Because I think like every school has their own school personality. So yeah, like for UC San Diego, it's like they really want you to be an innovative person, that you always have some crazy ideas, and then you're really practical, stuff like that. So maybe that's why like the school may feel I'm a good fit for them, because I'm like really extrovert and always have some crazy ideas going on, stuff like that. They want to see or entrepreneurship in that. So you need to understand what kind of person the school is looking for, and then what are some of the spirit of this school. And also you can try to connect with people from LinkedIn to understand the school a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Great advice. I agree with you that you're very social. So I'm glad you kind of got the entrepreneurship realm in UC San Diego. I know Rady is a big kind of school on innovation, entrepreneurship. So that's awesome that you were kind of thrusted towards that. Did you kind of talk about your TOEFL score and your GMAT score? Any tips on how to do well on that? Because that's a huge part for business school.
Yes, I think TOEFL and GMAT is really different. Some school that when you're applying, right, they will also require another thing called GRE. So these three tests are just like so different. For TOEFL, you just need to make sure that you read a lot of different passages in full English, and then you do a lot of writing practice. And then also make sure that when you're doing the speaking test, your accent is more American. This is like a really big tip, because I had experience living in the UK, and I have a really strong Britain accent at the time. And I just spent so much time to fix that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I can still talk like a Britain girl if you want.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and then definitely like trying to adjust the accent is something most people will not tell you. But anyway, like for the TOEFL, what I did was that I just watched a lot of these TV shows, so I can understand the vocabulary, understand some of the props, stuff like that. And I have been watching a lot of things actually. Like right now, I know a lot of people are watching The Boys. I have been following that one from season 1. So
it's so cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty fun. But just like to make sure you read all these English passages, like from Fox News, CNN, stuff like that, just to follow them, and then do like the mock. So when they say something, you click pause and then you follow that. Do this kind of practice, and it will take a lot of effort to practice. I would definitely say it's not easy for non-native speakers. Yeah, and then
that's awesome.
Yeah,
go ahead, continue.
Yeah. And then for GMAT, because I didn't study the GRE, but for GMAT, I think this is a really flexible test. Unlike a lot of the standard tests, this one is pretty versatile, I would say. That you will find in the multiple choice, there's a lot of knowledge related to some economic basics, like popcorn theory, that in a theater, the largest source of their income is not from the boxing tickets, but it's from the popcorn they sell in the theater.
Oh no, I did not
Yeah,
know
because
that. That's
that's
kind of
why
cool.
how yeah, that's how they earn a higher margin. So they
Yeah.
have more revenue from the popcorn, and they know that when customers goes to the movie theater, they will intentionally want to buy a popcorn with them when they watch the movie. And like for stuff like that, you probably will want to learn a little bit basics of economy, so that will put you in a better position compared to all of other people, and then you will study like easily because some of the knowledge is that this series are just goes through all these tests. They will just change a way for testing you for that. And then another thing I think is super important is that you will probably read few math passages when doing the GMAT test, and then you have time limitation, which is super strict. So you need to make sure that you do a lot of reading to increase the speed of you reading something, and then grasp all these knowledges and then some important messages from the passages when you're reading them, not just to skim through them. So this is something really important. And also another thing is that you need to put yourself in a position that, oh, I'm going to be a businesswoman, businessman. And how they will do that, they will like read a lot of things like from Financial Times, The Economist, stuff like that. We probably will also do a lot of like practice in that, because some of the passages are like they shorten a really long passage into a shorter one. So the meaning will be really vague. So you want to make sure that you grasp the meaning behind it. And for GRE, it's really different because it's more like a general test for master students. The only thing you need to do is that you make sure you memorize a lot of different strange vocabularies that probably you will never use them in your whole life, stuff like that.
No, I agree with you there. It is kind of interesting with GRE and GMAT. I know for those of you guys who are curious to the channel, Zoe is in UC San Diego School of Rady School of Management. So that's their business school, UC San Diego. For most business schools like UCLA, Harvard, Stanford, Northwestern, Vanderbilt, you do have to take a GRE or GMAT. GMAT is usually available for people applying to business school, but if you're applying to a master's program, you usually take the GRE. For those people applying to business school, you had a choice of GMAT or GRE. Zoe did an amazing job on the GMAT, so props to her for that, and thank you for kind of sharing those tips and advice on that. I want to go into your time at UC San Diego now. So it's been about 1 year now since you've been there. What classes were you taking, and what was it like kind of doing your master's that first year?
Okay, so I think the journey in UCSD is definitely a good memory. But when I first started the program, it was not easy because I just came to a new country and then new culture. All these people are new, and business school is definitely just like a bit tough. Probably all people may realize that because you are being put into a position with a lot of elite and everyone talk like they own the Wall Street, stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with you there. I know what it
yeah,
feels like.
yes, right. But I think even though the start was not easy for me because I was like having some difficulties with the language. I not really used to like speaking English every day and trying to make those small talk stuff like that. But it's like a super important skill for you to survive not only school but outside school. So that's something that I was like trying really hard to improve myself on. And then I think once you pass the bar for language, get over that, you will be fine. And another thing is that a lot of the classes I'm taking initially was like related to statistics and data science. So some of the class I'm taking like business analytics, customer analytics, and also supply chain analytics, fraud analytics, stuff like that. It's like everything just suddenly relates to some data. And to make sure that you do well in this major or anything related to data or IT, I think definitely like do more practice is really useful. Because for me at first, I previously like have really limited experience with coding, so I was not comfortable doing a lot of coding stuff or using Python. And as a girl, that you will inherently have a bit fear that you may not do well as the boys. So I just like kind of get a little bit lazy. I don't want to do the practice stuff like that. But then the school will really push you. Like UCSD is pretty heavy loaded with a lot of assignments. We always call ourselves with like University of California socially dead. Yeah,
That's
so
so funny
yeah,
that
we have
you
too
say
many
that.
assignments. Yeah. So like now I'm being forced to do the assignment. I have to do the coding. And that's when things gets already interesting because the more you do the practice, the more mistakes you make, actually the better you will get because you learn from your mistakes. And once you make those mistakes, and you will realize that, oh, I didn't do right this time, and next time you have a better memory of it compared that you just do well in the first time. So just make sure that you are not scared of making a fall and just get up and push yourself together and keep moving. I think that's really important. And then some of the other classes I took are in MBA because I'm really interested in MBA. I know Angela are doing so well in that. Yeah, so I'm interested in studying like being in the same classroom with those allies, those people who are doing so well in the career. I'm interested in that, so I took some MBA class. And one of the class I took, which is really good, is like healthcare related. And
That's cool.
San Diego is, yeah, because San Diego is like a biotech bay or something.
Huge biotech, yeah.
Yeah, and I took that class, and then the professor was really supportive. We have like company visit to some really big companies in San Diego, and then also we have like guest speakers. And some of the classmates I have were like they're already really successful in their life. One was previously a CEO of a giant company in Korea. I can't tell the name, but anyways, like when you take those classes, you sit in there, you just see how they talk, how they prepare for assignments, how they do the presentation, stuff like that, and how they do analysis. You will just be amazed by them, and they will give you a lot of the wow moments. And I feel like anyone will do really great when you are in that environment because everyone will push you to, work hard every day and have faith in yourself. And I think the largest thing that I gain in the school is definitely to always have confidence in yourself. This is something that I think is really important. That when you have faith in something, even though you may not have a really high starting point, by just keep working hard and having faith in yourself, you will definitely push yourself to that point. Yeah, and that is something that I think my classmates told me. So a lot of them, when they start their career, they may not have a really good position in the company, or they may not have a really good degree, stuff like that, but they just like always believe, I will do something big one day, and then they finally get that, a few years later. So just have faith.
That's awesome you touch upon that. That's one of the crazy things is, right? You said
Yeah.
you're in classrooms with CEOs of companies, and a lot of them, the way they execute, the way they talk, I've seen that too at UCLA, where your classmates are VPs of like large companies like Google, like
Yeah.
Alphabet, or I think someone like Lionsgate, or you have CEOs who have exited, who have IPO'd. I think I even had like one of the first engineers at Instagram too in my class, and you do kind of feel like in awe, thinking like, man, this person is a little bit older than me, or maybe even younger than me, and you're just kind of wondering how did they achieve this such an early time in their life. So you do kind of feel that imposter syndrome, right? But
Yeah.
like you said, as you go through business school, as you kind of learn, put yourself through the ranks, you get out of there and you become someone that you always probably become, or you get a new role, a new career, and you give yourself that bearing to excel. So appreciate you sharing that, Zoe. That's so cool that you took the business school classes. Very proud of you for doing that. And Rady is a hard school to get into. It's not easy to get into for an MBA or for business analytics. They're extremely hard programs. So very proud of you. And you came from international background too. So you have to do not only the GMAT, the GRE, but also the TOEFL. So proud of you for doing that. You're doing amazing things. Let's talk about your transition to Rocket Mortgage and data analytics. How did you find the internship? How did you apply? And how was the interview process?
Okay, so I will talk about how I find this position. So, as international students, it's definitely not easy for us to apply for jobs in here because we have like visa limitations, stuff like that. And then for roles related to data, it's super competitive. place that a lot of people are, studying analytics or data science, stuff like that. So I heard about this position through one of my friends, and he was doing the similar position at Rocky Mortgage last summer. So he kind of told me about this. We were pretty good friends at the time. I invited him for a coffee chat, and then he kind of always remembers that. And then one day he sent me the link, and then I just applied and got the HR call, I think 1 or 2 weeks later. So it's definitely something I wouldn't expect, because before getting the HR call for this role, I already applied to maybe 200 different positions, stuff like that. But it's pretty normal if you do anything related to data or IT nowadays. So anyway, I was trying so hard to find internship, but I always know that I'm going to, make it to today. And then when the HR called, we have a really long chat, about 1 hour. So it's pretty long for HR call. She tries to understand more about my background, how was my experience before I came to the US, what are my expertise, stuff like that. So that she can, assign me to the most suitable team for them. And then she realized that I have marketing background, and they happen to have data analytics position in marketing team as well. So she put my resume to that team, and then the team feel that, okay, I'm a good fit for them. And a few weeks later, I had a meeting, interview with some of the team leaders. So the team leaders will ask you questions related to some of the projects you did related to data analytics or data science, how you build a model, how you analyze some certain problems, and how will you build some of the metrics, stuff like that. And then also tries to understand your personality. Because I realized that when you're doing interview, a lot of these people may not only want you to be really smart or a good fit for the technical role, but also they want that your personality is suitable for this team. I think for Rocky Mortgage, I really like this place. It's a happy company. I would say everyone here are really supportive, not really those workaholic. So they definitely want you to be able to fit into the team. And it's a super international place that you will see people from all kinds of races. So I was trying my best to showcase that I'm not only someone with a good resume, but also I'm a fast learner. I like to solve problems. I like to play with people, hang out with people, make friends, stuff like that. And they feel that, okay, you will make a great fit to our team. So they give me the offer. And I had a really smooth onboarding period, because some companies, right, they probably will find it really hard for you to, as an international student, to get the CPT visa for working, stuff like that. But for Rocky, they're super supportive, so everything has been really smooth.
That's awesome that you're actually marketing yourself, you're putting yourself out there, and you're doing good work. I think what you're doing right now is amazing, and definitely keep doing an amazing job, because you are smart. You do put in the work in, and then you do hang out with people. I think that's amazing, because at the end of the day, right, people want to work with who they enjoy being around, right?
Yes.
And a lot of times when you do an amazing job at the internship, it turns into a return offer. And for those of you who are curious, people who work at Rocket Mortgage as in the data analytics side, they get 6-figure offers right out of college. So it is a very kind of lucrative job. And Zoe, you're doing all the right things right now. So I'm very proud of you. Keep up the great work. Can you kind of talk about the work you're working on? Are you working on dashboards? Are you kind of coding in Python a lot? Look at the analytics behind everything. And what's that been like?
Okay, so I think for any role related to data analytics, the things you will be doing will not just from a single source, or you may not only want to have just a single skill in building dashboards. So the first thing is that you will need to have understanding for how the data warehouse works. you may want to know like how to extract the data from the data warehouse, because some different companies use different place to store the data. Some may just use the traditional data warehouse. Some may use AWS to put them in the cloud, stuff like that. So you may want to have knowledge in that first. And the second thing that you will need to understand how to write SQL. This is a really big thing because you will need to know how to filter out the data you want from the big data warehouse. And then after we extract the data from the warehouse, the next thing we need to do is to clean the data and kind of like do some imputation. And that's how Python starts to work. Normally, I feel like for every different data warehouse, there will be different ways to roll the queries. Like some may use PySpark, some may just use Python or stuff like that. But definitely you want to have a good Python base before you start to work on it. And then once you know Python well, these different languages are just like really similar. And then after that, now we have the data. The next thing people will do is to build dashboard, because you will visualize the data. And then a lot of these teams, they are not from the data background, and visualization is the best way for them to understand it. And then that's how why we need to learn the Power BI or Tableau, stuff like that. So I think Power BI is like definitely the most common tools for companies nowadays. So you may probably want to learn that before you start to work on it. And then these are like the three most important parts. And for some other roles, like some data analytics are pretty similar to data science. You will also do some modeling stuff, and you probably will want to like work on statistics and then machine learning algorithms, stuff like that to, group the customers or data, or like trying to predict something, stuff like that. So it's like a loop. Everything is combined together. And then after, we have all this data process, all these things prepared, we need to have a really good business understanding for the things you're doing. Like you will provide a lot of like the business insight based on the data you process, because that's something that will really bring value to the company. That's how you help them earn the money, is you help the insights, and then you give the insights or suggestion, feedback, anything to other different teams, and you tell them how to make new strategy, how to execute some of the stuff, or how to make adjustments. So these are some of the things that we are doing. And then also communication is definitely something really important, because you will work with a lot of third-party companies, and you may want to understand some of the things that they're talking about, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the job about.
No, that's awesome, Zoe. So Zoe touched upon a lot of great things, right? Learning Python, learning SQL, creating dashboards with Power BI and Tableau. For those of you who are curious, that's kind of similar all in most analytics roles at big tech. Same thing here at Meta. We were using SQL to grab all the data from the Scuba database. Same thing at Airbnb. We're using SQL to grab data from the database there. And then we were using Tableau, Power BI to create the dashboards, and then kind of creating a narrative or story behind that, present that to senior leadership, and then use comms communications to kind of send out that whatever dashboard you built to all the kind of the larger portion of the company. So Zoe, what you're learning here can definitely translate to wherever you go in your life, whether you do another full-time role at Rocket Mortgage, or if you're going to big tech, or if you're going to any like investment banking firm. A lot of what you're learning, SQL, Python, Tableau, Power BI, it all transfers over. And if you guys caught what Zoe was saying, when you learn Python, it's very similar to all the other languages. Python is relatively seen as the first language you should learn, coding language you should learn, because you can start coding JavaScript, Java, especially if you know Python, because it's a lot of just assigning the variable, kind of like creating lists, and it's very, very good that you learned all these amazing skills during your internship right now at Rocket Mortgage, Zoe. So this is super exciting to know that. And for those of you who are curious, right, watch this podcast, take some time, go online to learn Python. There's so many great websites out there for you guys to learn these coding languages like Power BI, Tableau, Python. It takes about a month or two, but you can get pretty good in a month or two after like 40 to 80 hours of just putting the work in. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Zoe.
Thank you for having me here as well.
Of course. Super excited. You have amazing experience, so we're always so happy to have you. So we're kind of coming on the end of the podcast. I will always ask each of my guests this question. What is one piece of advice you would give to your younger self? So think of Zoe as she got into UC San Diego. Think of Zoe in undergrad. Think of Zoe kind of in high school, whatever it may be. What is one piece of advice you would have given to your younger self?
I would say is to believe in yourself and be confident. Because I look back at myself maybe 1 or 2 years ago, I am not as talkative or as confident as I am right now. And I think like the culture in Asia is a little bit different from the US. It's definitely a bit more introvert. And then I think if you really want to survive, not only in school, but in work, definitely need to be confident. Like we all say, fake it until you make it. Once you have that confidence, you will create those energy field around yourself, and people can feel that. They can feel that you are a person with good value. You know yourself, you are comfortable with yourself, and you like to help others, stuff like that. Like all these different traits will start to go around with you once you have confidence in yourself. And I think like for me, maybe previously in high school or something, I wasn't doing well at that time because I just feel like I'm not good enough. I'm scared of doing this, scared of doing that. And when you are scared of something, you have fear and you stop trying. That's the worst part. So definitely be confident.
That's awesome you say that because at Google, my managers, the VPs, the directors, they all say the same thing. Just be confident. We don't know if you're messing up. If you show that you tried, you're coming off with confidence, you put in good work, people will believe you, right? And they
Yes.
always told me, I thought this was crazy because they always told me the same thing, just fake it till you make it. Even if you fail, get back up, keep faking it till you make it. I was like, this girl, she's like the highest in the company, right? She's almost near the CEO, but she's telling me fake it till I make it. Okay, they probably know something. So that's pretty cool that you say that. And same thing too at UCLA, right? I learned that too. Everything you told me, I feel like I've seen that at UCLA where if you enunciate, if you come off with confidence, people don't know that you may not know what you're talking about, but if you are confident, people will buy in and you exuberate that energy. And I always got that energy from you, right? You're always coming off confident, super kind. You've reached out to me so many times to come on the pod, and you're kind of just always a pleasure to be around. So I appreciate you for sharing that. In your story at Rocket Mortgage, your story at UC San Diego, coming from Asia all the way to San Diego to pursue your dreams. So I'm very proud of you. Keep chasing greatness. Keep fulfilling your dreams. I know you're going to do amazing things. And if you ever need anything from me, like just career advice, want to reach out, always here to help you. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for coming onto the pod. Um, I want people to be able to reach out to you if they ever need advice or help. Do you feel, would you like to kind of like have them reach out to your Instagram, LinkedIn? What are your thoughts, Zoe?
Yes, I think you can definitely put my Instagram and LinkedIn in the page, and people can always reach out to me for that.
Okay, perfect. So we'll put you on there. We'll have so Jello family. If you ever want to reach out to Zoe, she's an amazing asset. She's an amazing person to be around. You will learn so much from her. So just reach out to her on Instagram. We'll have her links down below as well as LinkedIn if you just want to connect with her. Kind of crazy thing is Zoe got her internship by a coffee chat by via LinkedIn, right? By a LinkedIn message, right? So
Yeah.
reach out to people, right? You have any advice on that, Zoe? Like that LinkedIn message, just kind of send a cold message and sometimes people reply and give you their referrals. Is that kind of how it works?
Um, I think for me that I always try to be really sincere and just be real. Some people will, send the same message to 100%. But for me, I will kind of like just tailor the message. And then when I reach out to them, I will not feel that, okay, I'm forcing you to reply me back or I'm forcing you to refer me to your job. I just really want to get to know you as a person and, talk to you as a friend, stuff like that. And sometimes when you reach out to people with that kind of sincerity, people will feel that and they will respond you and maybe offer you something you would never expect it. So just trying to see, how I can admire you, how I can help you, stuff like that, to trying to think of others a bit more.
Awesome. That's awesome. Come off with sincerity, come off as someone who cares. And you never know. Amazing things can happen. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you saying that. So you're definitely inspiring a lot of people. So we appreciate you from the bottom of our heart. Jello family, thank you guys so much for watching the Angelo Carlos podcast. Zoe's links are all down below. So please reach out if you want to talk to her, network with her, or just get to know her. She's an amazing person, one of the coolest and most fun people I've met in San Diego. So Zoe, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, Jello family. Have an amazing day. Peace.
Yeah.